Good Sunday morning, everybody. And it is morning for a change. I've actually got up in the morning and looking out, it's a foggy, misty, foggy morning. Anyway, with that, gonna have some coffee. We just put a brew on. Just use the click in, gonna get a brew on. We're having some pan of chocolates and start the day. This is start the working day then. And off we go. Moving on.
And what, pray tell, is so funny?
I'll replay it. And you just put a little bit of a caption in. There's the sixth time. And we'll change it to a font that we can see. And there we have. There we have the sixth time. Right, you want to know what that is? I'll take that back a little bit here. To here. Do you remember walking through the... This is the best bit, in broad daylight. Hang on, I went too far, sorry.
And I think you just caught the 4th or the 5th time I've ever heard it yesterday.
Got you in broad daylight.
Yeah, so there you go, broad daylight.
That's what I'm laughing at. Oh. I don't think you were speaking to me at that point.
What Alan's actually laughing at is the look of complete horror on my face. My heart about exploded out of my chest that time.
It was funny. Well, I'll be going up midweek when I've finished editing. Okay guys, it's been a do-nothing day. I've got a bit of a headache, so I'm about to go and get a big cup of tea, get some liquid inside me. And what we've been doing is watching I can't say his name, Dara O'Brien's Science Club, is it? Dara O'Brien's Science Club, which is a 2013 programme at all about, funny enough, science. That's quite interesting, isn't it? That's kind of all we've been doing. Excuse me. It's been a very crazy, lazy Sunday. And I don't think it's going to get any more energetic. Because I'm tired. Because I didn't sleep at all last night. Anyway, with that, we're going to have a cup of tea and figure out what we're doing next. Okay guys, that's Sunday over with. We've done absolutely nothing. Or I've done absolutely nothing other than recover and think about going to work tomorrow and that kind of thing. We spent all day watching what's his name?
Dara O'Brien.
Dara O'Brien in, what's it called?
Science Club.
Science Club. It's about time they did something about memory clubs. Okay, so it's a programme I've watched before, but it's quite interesting. Oh, that programme I've watched before, but all the other stuff I've never seen before, but it's worth watching. So that's kind of it. It's past my bedtime. Did a bit of editing, a bit of messing about, raising the internet, Doing a little bit more research on our holiday, yeah, which is slowly coming together. We're formulating a plan for this year, and also Christmas, and also next year, aren't we? Because that's the way it leads. So, with that, have you finished the book today, or have you done any reading today?
No, not today.
Should know about book reviews for us.
I have finished books. Can you remember what the last book I reviewed was?
No. I can't even remember the name of a programme we've just been watching.
No, that's a fair point.
So why we show it's like, oh. Do apologise. Yawning again. Yeah, so. Nah, I'm gonna call it now. I've got to take my clothes upstairs and yeah.
I finished. Did I tell you about the book that I finished about people in Broadmoor, the Victorian one?
You kinda did, but all you said it was something that Amy.
Yeah, it was one of Amy's books because we share Kindle books.
You just said it were good.
It was good.
Yeah, so, but you didn't tell us anything about it.
It's all about why Broadmoor was built and how it was built and how the security system evolved and what its purpose was, and it told you a bit about the Victorian people who were locked up there. Some of them were sort of committed there. They'd done something, like somebody decided it would be a good idea to take pot shots at Queen Victoria, but they decided that they weren't guilty because they were mad, and sent them to Broadmoor to await Her Majesty's pleasure. Essentially, they're there until the Queen says they can go.
In other words, they'll never get out.
And they didn't. That was the thing. A lot of them never did get out. And sometimes there were criminals who were found guilty, but mad anyway, and they were there for the duration of their sentence. So the Victorians decided that it wasn't a very good thing to hang people who were mad. You know, they didn't execute mad people. So if you had a death sentence, if you were due to be hanged but you were mad, they sent you to Broadmoor and you stayed in Broadmoor forever. And of course, Broadmoor is still on the go today. It's one of the most secure prisons in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And it houses Ian Brady, yeah. Most people, when you say Broadmoor, you think of Peter Sutcliffe, you think of Ian Brady, you think of that guy that killed those two girls at Soham. He's there. And you think of Yorkshire Ripper was Peter Sutcliffe.
Yeah.
But you think of those, but there are actually lots of people at Broadmoor, because off the back of reading the book, I watched a documentary that was actually on ITV, but I found it on YouTube. They actually let some reporters from ITV into Broadmoor and let them film. And a lot of the people that are at Broadmoor aren't there because they're raging psychopaths like Peter Sutcliffe or Ian Brady. They're there because they went to prison for something and got ill along the way. It's sort of partly somewhere where you lock away the criminally insane, and then it's also partly like a mental health hospital for
the criminally insane.
Sick criminals, but not sick in the way that you're thinking. You know, they're not. I mean, there was one guy who was locked in there because he self-harmed constantly. He hurt himself, and he had a lot of mental issues about his childhood and things like that. So they cured his self-harming and moved him back towards being in a normal prison population eventually, and that sort of thing. So that was really interesting. So I read that, and I read Les Parisiennes, how the women of Paris lived, loved and died during the occupation of the Nazis, obviously, in World War II. And that was really interesting, because there were a lot of women who were part of the resistance, because all the men were all fighting. The women were the people that were passing the messages, and it was all about how the lives of these women worked during the occupation, and about the collaborators and how they treated the women who collaborated, because there were the women who collaborated by throwing lavish parties, or women who collaborated by telling the Germans secrets, and then they had collaboration horizontal, which needs very little to no explanation whatsoever, and those women had their head shaved and they were shunned by society. Some of them were exiled from the country following the liberation of Paris. But at the end of the day, they all did what they felt they needed to do to survive, and sometimes that's actively resisting, and sometimes that's buckling under and making the best of what you've got. So that was really interesting, but I didn't like the book so much. It was very long-winded. And then I read Emotional Rescue, Essays on Love, Loss and Life, with a soundtrack by Ben Greenman. It was one of my Kindle firsts, where I get a book a month ahead of when it comes out, because I'm a Prime member, and I thought it was all going to be about. The book was supposed to be a series of short essays about how music affects your mood. And sometimes you hear songs and they're happy, and sometimes you hear songs and they're sad, and what you listen to affects how you feel about what's going on around you. Like if I'm having a bad day, I put on my angry music and I feel better for some reason. You would think it would make me angrier, but it doesn't. That was how the book was supposed to be, but in the end it just ended up, it read like somebody wanted to show off how smart they were, and it really got on my nose, in all honesty. No, it wasn't very good at all. So yeah.
So that's what you're reading up to date, is it?
That's me up to date, yeah.
Okay, so I've no doubt we'll have plenty more at the next weekend for that. And with that, I thank you to Michelle for doing a book reviews, because that's about all we've done on the vlogging front today. So, what I didn't vlog was Michelle made a fantastic pizza before, didn't you? Recipe off Facebook.
No, that was just me knocking together a pizza with what I had. Well, it's the same ingredients, but the idea was different. It was supposed to look cool. When I actually do it, we'll vlog it.
And also, she learned a little bit about pizza dough, didn't you?
Yeah, keep it refrigerated till you want to use it.
Otherwise, it
proves. It expands.
It gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
And you can't get out of the box.
Yeah. Just to let you know, without, obviously we didn't make our own dough. We can make our own pizza dough because we've got do it in the bread baker, don't we?
We do, and I can't actually make it by hand when I have the time, inclination, and want to make that much effort for it.
Yeah. But what we did, we bought a box of pizza dough, and we was going to have pizza yesterday, but we didn't, because we just wasn't hungry, so we didn't eat it. And then Michelle grew it in a box. Anyway, with that now, that's a 10-minute or a 10-minute discussion. I think it's time I went to bed because I'm tired and I need to get up, get myself set for the working week ahead. So with that, it's a good night from me.
And it's a good night from him.
Good night, see you on the morning, Monday morning. The blues.